read through the rules that I have here. Okay, so obviously this is, come on, just let's everyone just be respectful. I think it goes without saying that, you know, we're all adults here and we just need to be respectful of each other, especially respectful of Yeba, and, you know, just everything that's going on. Yes, our special guest. I will say as well, I am not a doctor, I am not a therapist, and I am not a professional motivational speaker. Purely everything that I talk about and that I know Yeba will talk about is going to be from experience and personal things that we've been through. But that doesn't always mean that it'll work for you. Just always keep that in mind. Take notes. I always encourage taking notes, but like I said, I'm not a therapist, not a doctor, I don't do this professionally. I just want to do this because I want to help. And I think that that's good enough. I think that's reason enough. So there will be time at the end of speeches to chat, discuss, and share stories and personal experiences. I want to hear all about it. You know, I love talking to you guys about that anyway. Chat and notifications will not be read. I'm going to try my best to read chat, but like for the most part, I do want to just pay attention to Yeba as much as possible. And notifications are muted. You guys know that. If you don't like what we're talking about, you don't have to stay. I personally don't want to hear in chat if you like don't like us or if you don't like what we're talking about. I just don't care. Okay. So this portion where it's just Yeba and I, this part will be uploaded to YouTube. So if you are curious, if you want to go back and like take more notes or listen to it again, it's going to be uploaded to YouTube. Okay. Just in case you miss a speech, just know that. I have one to upload and then this one. I'm a little behind. Don't judge me. Okay.
Doing great.
Just because I'm not reading chat, just like keep things going, keep things moving. If you have anything to say, don't forget, like I'm going to be scrolling back and reading it. Things are always rocky. We've already had some technical, issues. It's going to be rocky. Everything's go with the flow here. It's not really professional or anything like that. It's just super go with the flow. And yeah, you might not relate to anything that we're talking about, and that's okay. That's okay. You're not going to. But I think that this is a great way for us to get to know Yeba better, my community to get to know Yeba better, and maybe Yeba's community to get to know me a little bit better. And just share, what we've been through together, to the world and everything like that. So that's basically it for that. But yeah, Yeba, I would love to, where can everybody find you? I would love to know what you do on your channel, drop your links and everything like that.
Yeah,
go for
absolutely.
it. Go for it.
So over here on Twitch, I am Yeba Deba. That's YEBBADEBBA. Same name over on Twitter. Those are my two main social medias and platforms. For those of you who don't know me, I am known as the Hype Queen of Twitch. I'm also on Project Kindness with Ashlina.
Yeah.
So we're both very charity focused.
Yes.
And it is my goal this year to raise $15,000 for charity. You may think that's insane.
No, that's amazing.
But we raised $12,000 last year.
Oh my gosh.
So I know. And a bunch of those fabulous community members are in here right now being absolute fucking gems. So just saying.
Congratulations. That's amazing. That's seriously incredible. For real. My goal is 5,000, but I guess I should raise it a little bit.
5,000. Listen, we're going to talk about incremental goals. So
okay.
That's allowed.
Okay.
So sometimes you just need the proof behind it to know that it's tangible.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, hell yeah.
Okay. If you look under her camera real quick, chat, it has her @ Yeah, it has her @ So be sure to drop her a follow. Go hang out with her. She's the Hype Queen, and she's not even joking. Like, there's a reason why she's the first guest on Motivational for 2020. It's because I adore her, number one, and number two, she hypes me up. She motivates me. And so I want to share her with you. But yeah, okay. So be sure to drop her a follow. Send her memes. Yeah, do that too.
Absolutely. Anything with The Witcher and Baby Yoda, certified.
Perfect. Okay. Take notes. Write that in your notes, everyone. Get your notebook and write Baby Yoda and Witcher. And you know what? Honestly, you can send me Witcher stuff anytime too. Anytime. You let me know. Yes.
Sounds good.
Yes. Okay, so there's where you can follow her, everyone. Be sure to drop her a follow. I know I keep saying it, but seriously, not even kidding. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and kind of get into things. So the first question I have is, what do you mean by actualizing goals? And could you give us an example? Because I think I think maybe actualizing goals sounds like super intimidating, but I think
Yep.
it's a little bit more simple. So, could you explain it and maybe give us an example?
Yeah, absolutely. So around this time of year and maybe even earlier, a lot of people establish what is going to be their New Year's resolution. Majority of people don't stick with it,
Yeah.
and that's okay, because sometimes when it comes to forming your New Year's resolution, you find something that seems tangible, but you leave it just as that. You leave it as a phrase that you say, you leave it as something that you're just going to repeat at parties. It is something written on your whiteboard and you keep saying, "Yeah, I'm going to do that." Well, all you have is a sentence written on your whiteboard. Actualizing your goals means that you are planning, you are thoroughly going through all the steps that need to happen, you are time boxing yourself, which means
Okay.
you're taking that time to
Yeah.
say, I'm going to do X in this amount of time,
Okay.
and you're also assessing your progress.
Okay.
So, actualizing your goals is taking a more methodical way of looking at actually achieving something. And while you can start with a phrase and start with a goal, actualizing is taking that and making it something a lot more tangible.
Okay. Okay. Now, what would be an example? Like, what? Okay. So, like you just said,
Mm-hmm.
making resolutions and everything like that. Like, what was one of your resolutions? Okay. Personally, I'm just going to say this real quick. I didn't
Yeah.
make any. I didn't
Yeah.
make any. I just made like some goals that maybe I would like to accomplish this year. But as far as like, I don't know, going to the gym and like just like stuff, I didn't do any resolutions. So, what would be an example that maybe you did this year
Yeah.
for January?
So I'll do two examples.
Okay.
So
Okay.
my first example that I did in 2019 at our board at work, we have a giant blackboard in
Okay.
our office.
Love it.
And it had "'Tis the season to make a difference."
Okay.
So
Ooh,
and
okay.
that's yeah. So I work at a fabulous place and I
I
absolutely
love
adore all of
that.
them. So
I love
so
that.
we took some of the ideas that we had there, and then we said, okay, let's make a resolution, but update it through the year and make it something tangible. So people put on, I'm going to read 20 books
Okay.
for the year.
Yeah.
That's what the resolution was going to
Yeah.
be. And so every time they came in and they finished a book, they put a tally mark up there.
Hmm.
For mine, I said, I'm going to raise $10,000 for charity. So each time we went through the charity season, I went up there and we raised 1K in February, and then we raised 2.5K in March. And then I just kept going down the line. And then chat went absolutely bonkers, and decided to complete that resolution
I love
and
it.
also complete that goal by June of last
Oh
year.
my goodness. Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was a goal from last year. Another goal that I've had before, and it was one that I had personally that I didn't actually share with too many people, was the main goal that I had was to reduce my resting heart rate.
Okay.
So I was going to do enough activity and I was going
Interesting.
to do enough things, and it's a very intangible goal.
Yeah.
It's just one of those, like, okay, well, what goes into that? If I'm going to reduce my resting heart rate, what exactly does that mean? So then I went through and I did my actualizing and I went through my plan. Don't worry, we'll go through all the steps. I'm just briefly touching upon it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I time boxed myself and I said, I'm going to give myself a year and see how I'm feeling by then. And I actually tweeted about it last week where I said my resting heart rate went down 8 full points
Oh my
in
gosh.
terms of how relaxed I am
Yes.
in a
Yes.
resting state.
Yes.
So I'm not holding on to tension. I'm not holding on to stress.
Yes.
I'm breathing normally. I'm a lot more relaxed. I'm not holding that tension anywhere in my body, and my heart is
Yeah.
thanking me for that.
Yeah.
So that was something I mindfully wanted to work on, and I mindfully worked towards throughout the year. So that's kind of an example. And then I'm doing the same thing this year with a lot of that stuff.
I
So
love that. I
yeah.
love that. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yep.
I wish I could give some examples. I mean, honestly, if I can be perfectly honest, chat kind of knows January is very cursed for me.
Hmm.
Bad stuff has happened for the past 3 years, including this year in January. And so I guess I'm kind of scared now, but I think that this is like a good chat for us to have because it'll make me
Yeah.
less scared. It'll make me less scared,
And
focus
and
on
that's
something else, essentially.
and that's something that's also very good about actualizing and making a plan, is there are a lot of steps that are cathartic. There are a lot of steps that
Yeah.
are very proven to kind of reduce that, oh God, what do I do next?
Yeah.
Because when you
That's
have all
true.
those steps lined out and when you have a plan and when you have something that you can stick to and you know that it's working,
Mhm.
then you actually feel not only motivated to continue, but you have the proof to say, well, fuck, if I can do this, I can do a whole heck of a lot
Yeah.
more.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so,
Love
and,
that.
and, and these goals don't have to be big.
Yeah.
None of your goals, none of your steps, none of these things have to be big. It can be, I want to make sure I add more meditation to my week.
Yeah.
That can literally be your
Truly,
goal.
truly, like honestly, yeah.
And when it comes to that, it turns into, okay, well, how would I do that? Where should I find my meditations? Should I
Yeah.
go to a class first?
Yeah.
And what type of apps are out there that can assist me with
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of conversations with yourself and also understanding, is this tangible? Is this something I actually want to work towards? After you go through all the layers, is it something I can stick to? And if you
Yeah.
answer positively to all of those, go with it.
Yeah. I was literally just about to ask that because, okay, uh, I know for some people, and this isn't me calling out anybody or anything like that. It's just like there are different kinds of people. We're all human, we're all different. But,
Absolutely.
There are some people who just truly can't stick
Yes.
to something, and that's
Yes.
okay. And so, I guess I'm asking, could this help someone that is not good at sticking to, a goal or a plan?
Yeah. So, I'll, for instance, so my brother is high functioning autistic.
Okay.
When he was younger, there are specialists that help you with this.
Okay. Okay.
There are people who can teach you better techniques, and sometimes if you can't do something by yourself, you often have to do it either with a professional or with maybe a professional
Okay.
guided structure.
Mm-hmm.
So, in order to get my brother to talk, my brother didn't talk until he was almost 4.
Okay.
In order to get him to talk, they had to go through a regimented routine that he had to go through, and he had to go through regimented, they weren't really treatments, but they were like supplements and vitamins and like a bazillion other
Yeah.
things to help build him not only inside but also outside.
Okay.
So that was incredibly important when
Yeah.
it came to that. But that was also, my mom said, this is the goal that I want for my son. I want my son to talk, and also guided him through that. And it's very unlikely that he would have been able to do that if he didn't have help. So while this is something that could probably ease a lot of pressure, and taking the time to really lay all of those items out and really taking the time to be to be proactive in not only your planning but also in your understanding kind of what the crux of the problem is and what are the actual items that I need to fix, and what
Mm-hmm.
are the actual items that I want to work on. There are some people who may need help, whether that's a therapist to hold them
Yes.
accountable,
Yes.
whether it's medication to help
Okay.
them stand on their own 2 feet,
Yeah.
whether it's occupational therapy,
Yeah.
speech pathology. There's a
Yeah.
million resources out there
Yeah.
that can supplement your own drive. It's not to say that they're incapable. It's to say, how can we make this easier?
Yeah.
And how
And
can
take
we
that
make this more
pressure off
structured?
of you.
Exactly. Because
Love
and that's
that.
what a lot of this is. And that's why making a plan is so important, is
Yes.
because you're taking a lot of that pressure and saying, okay, but I know what I can do to lessen that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Really quick, I would love to say thank you
Yeah.
to She Snaps. Thank you so much for that host. I really
Hi,
do
Snaps!
appreciate it. She is
Oh
a
my
Yeba
gosh.
super fan, so am I. Go eat, go enjoy yourself. Thank you so much for that host. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Snaps. You're an absolute gem.
Yes, and everyone from Snaps, welcome. My name's Ash. I am interviewing Yeba. We're talking about actualizing goals and making a plan.
Yes.
We thought this would be a good idea for kind of like January, kind of getting started and getting into a routine for the rest of your year. And again, just thank you so much for that host. I really do appreciate it. Welcome on in, everyone. Hello. Hello, hello. And okay, back to what you were saying.
Mhm.
I honestly, something kind of clicked for me when you were talking about medication, occupational therapy. I'm a psychologist. I got my psychology degree, and I didn't even put 2 and 2 together that they could help you with making goals and holding you accountable. I did not even put that in my head. So for you to say that is a huge thing to hear, and
go ahead,
for like chat to hear. you know,
Yes.
like for me to hear and for chat to hear. So
So one of the main things that I've had to do, so I've been on both sides of the spectrum when it comes to eating disorders.
okay.
I was anorexic when I was younger, and then I went all the way to binge eating and stress eating and just stuffing my face to no end when it came to stress. I was living my life through a lot of that. I actually had to use psychology in order to combat a lot of that.
Me
That
too.
wasn't just cutting out
Yeah.
calories for me. That was literally, understanding portion size. That was
Yeah.
negotiating with myself.
Yeah.
That was making plans. That was planning meals. It was
Yeah.
doing a whole bunch of different things. And I had to use psychology tricks, and
Yeah.
I had to use behavioral therapy methods. I had to use a
Yes.
whole bunch of things.
Yes.
So sometimes if you're not, if you are trying so hard to reach something, and no matter what the hell you're doing, you're not getting there,
yeah.
that's not always a personal failure.
Yeah. And
Don't
that's yeah.
and a lot of that, and that's also another reason why actualizing and making a plan is so important. If you're tracking all the things that should be helping you, and there's some things that aren't, or
Mhm.
there's some things that maybe disconnect from your actual goal or your actual plan, or maybe there's just something that doesn't seem to serve you very much, you have that, and you have the data to track that, and you
Yeah.
can just cross it the heck off,
Yeah.
and you
I'm
can
done
take
with
it out of your
this.
routine, and you're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? That's actually insane. And I don't know if you, I think you know this, Yeba, but last year, I got diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease.
Yes.
And the year prior, I had, you know, this goal. I was going to go to Miami Swim Week, and I had my workout plan, you know, ready to go,
Yep.
how long I was going to work out each day, what I was going to do each day, everything like that. And my body was not getting there. Like, no matter how much I was working out, like, and I was tracking everything.
Yep.
And so when I wasn't seeing results, I wasn't feeling better, I went to the doctor, and that's how I got diagnosed. So that, I know that that's kind of not the same thing that you're talking about, but if you're looking at your plan and you're like, something's not right here, I need to go talk to a professional,
Yes.
or I need to just cross it, you know, off my list. I think
Yep.
having that analogy might be a good one.
And having qualitative data
Yes.
behind you
Yes.
is so important, because
Yes.
also when you go to a doctor, you can have that conversation.
Yes.
I tried having no dairy for 90 days,
Yeah.
and I still feel like crap. And I
Yeah.
don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
I was told this by this doctor, and this isn't working for me. So, and I'm dairy and gluten free for anybody who
Same.
wanted to know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, obviously, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So they thought I had that way back when, and nothing turned up positive.
Yeah.
And mine actually turned out to be mostly hormones.
Okay.
And budding intolerances and gastro
Yeah.
crap and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So
Yeah.
not fun. I switched my camera. Sorry that
No,
maybe
that's okay. No,
so-
no, you're
I wanted to
totally
make it
fine.
seem like I'm actually talking towards you instead of
Yes,
talking
yes,
away. So,
yes. I completely understand.
but it's definitely yeah. So like other examples that I had were like, and when it comes to your goals, these don't have to be like lifelong goals. They can
Yeah,
be time
that's
boxed. They can be
true.
short. They can be one of the big ones is what can I do in order to what can I do in order to help myself pay for like a really awesome vacation?
Yeah.
If I want to go to a vacation in 11 months, if I'm giving myself 11 months to plan for a really kick-ass 4-week vacation, I'm going all out, I'm going to Thailand, I'm visiting all these places. What do I need to do in order to make that financially feasible, in order to have the time off that's necessary for that?
Yes.
How am I going to get there?
Yep.
And anything like that. So those are all things that you can line out. And again, all this seems very obvious.
Yeah,
But you would be very surprised at how many people who just think that I'm going to do this and therefore it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Like that,
Do you think that there's just an intimidation factor behind like a new year? Like for me,
Yes.
like I told you, like for the past 3 years, including this year, something bad has happened in January. And when I mean bad, like I'm not going to get into it because it's just my personal life, but
I gotcha.
bad, you know? And I think maybe that I might be intimidated, you know?
Mhm.
So I think that there is a reason why people can't do it is because they just get intimidated by it, you know?
Yes.
So how would you recommend maybe like, would you recommend let's bring the list down just a little bit to take away that intimidation factor.
Oh, yeah. And also when it comes to when it comes to something you want to address, no one is holding your feet to the fire saying you have to fix everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of people get tripped up.
Yeah.
When I initially, again, and I'm sorry I'm making this about me, but that's
No,
what this is about life
it is.
experiences.
It is. It is.
So when I was initially, this was post my big surgery.
Okay.
I had a tumor removed, and I was very limited physically in what I was able to do. So it was non-cancerous, don't worry.
Okay. I was like, wait, can we pause a second? Hold on. Okay.
It was a fibritic tumor,
okay,
not cancerous, benign.
Okay.
In a very troublesome spot, and I almost had an organ rupture. It was awful.
Oh my goodness.
And not covered by insurance.
Oh.
Yeah, this was before the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah.
It was great. I loved it. I literally just could have waited 2 more months, but my uterus said, nah, we're gonna go now.
Oh my goodness.
Cool, great.
Yeah,
yep. So on top of a huge financial burden, that was, there was also this, okay, well, now that I have something really terrible out of my body, I actually want to work on losing that weight that I have been trying so desperately to get off of my body. Not just for aesthetic reasons, but for back pain, knee pain, shoulder pain, just the indescribable aches that I had all over my body just because of how unhealthy and miserable my body was with me. So, I wanted to take a lot of changes, but when I looked at all the things that I could change, I said, no, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. So I focused for an entire year while I was healing, for an entire year. So that was from October of one year to probably September of the next, where I only focused on diet.
Okay.
I only focused on diet, and I said, I am cutting out gluten. I'm cutting out dairy. I'm cooking my meals as much as possible. I am learning how to meal plan. And while I did that, I want to say I was about 6 months in. And I said, yes, I feel like I'm in a good place. I feel like I have everything pretty set. I'm going to add walking 30 minutes a day to my stuff.
Okay.
I have to do it. I have to do 30 minutes a day. I have to do it. It's something I want to dedicate myself to. You're obviously allowed to give yourself breaks.
Yeah.
Goals are how much you can stick to it. Not I stuck to it for 4 days. I failed the one day. Everything's done.
Yeah.
I can't do it again. I can't go back. I can't do it. It's never going to happen. That's not what a goal is. A goal is how frequently you can stick to the plan that you have in order to succeed.
Love it.
If you miss a day, you're not a failure.
Okay. I love
if you miss
that.
a day, you're not a failure.
She's speaking to me. I feel attacked. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But these are a lot of blockers.
Yes.
And then there's people who start to see changes and then say, I don't need to stick to that anymore. I'm already getting there. So my body's just going to do it for me. So they start to wane off and they start to not stay focused and they start not to do things. And then it all creeps back and then they completely wipe their plan and they say, fuck it, I'm never going to do this again.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is consistency. A lot of it is staying motivated. A lot of that is and I'm sorry for the hyperboles, but
no.
So I can go into every single bit of this, but I also lost my point because my brain criticized me. It was just like, stop just speaking in half truths.
Yeah, no.
They're not half truths, they're true truths. So 6 months into it, I said I was going to keep walking. And then about 9 months into it, I was just like, you know what? I think I could add like really light workouts. So I started doing more yoga.
Yeah.
And I was very confident in my body at that point because I was like, hey, we're a little stronger. We got a little slimmer.
We can do stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you can layer on changes. You can layer on your habit adjustments. You can layer on the goals that you want to say just to get something away from bodies and health. If you want to buy a house and you know how much you need to save for a down payment, you can start today.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I would recommend that, to be perfectly honest, to anyone.
And then as you start making your benchmarks. How much can I put away in the month of January?
Yeah.
How much can I put away the second week of February?
Yeah.
How much can I put away the third week of February? Ooh, double dip. Let's see what we can do do there? And then what can I put away after spring break?
Yeah.
If did I choose to go to a spring break vacation? No. Where's that money going? It's going to go into that house
Yeah.
savings.
Yeah.
It's going to go into that account. It's going to stay there.
Yeah.
So, and obviously shit happens. Maybe, something horrible happens to your car. You need to get something
Yeah.
fixed and you need to dip into it. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay because that's money that you're saving. And even if you need to reprioritize it, that's one less stressor off
Yep.
your back.
Yep. And that's not a failure either.
And that's not a failure either. You are absolutely allowed to change your goals. You are absolutely allowed to adjust your goals. I've given up on things halfway through it.
Yeah.
And been like, you know what? This isn't going to serve me for shit.
Yeah.
Why do I need to go back to freaking deadlifting 312 pounds?
Yeah.
Do I need to go back to deadlifting 312 pounds? Am I competing in rugby again? No, I'm
Yeah.
not doing any of that shit again.
Yeah.
Why is that a goal for me?
Yeah. Yeah.
How about we get back to squatting 150
Yeah.
and we do it consistently where we can do 15 goddamn reps
Yep.
every single time?
Yeah.
Yes? Let's do that.
Yep.
Let's do that instead.
Yeah.
So again, it's just it's they're when it while you have the freedom to make and change your goals, you have to have the discipline to stick to a plan in enough time that you have proof.
Yeah.
So when it comes to actualizing, it's really finding that gentle balance of being rigid but also being fluid.
Gotcha.
And it's not as gray as it sounds. It's setting those limits yourself.
Yep.
And understanding when you're going to tap or when you're going to tag in.
Yeah. Okay.
Simple as that.
Love it. So
Yeah.
that kind of actually like kind of goes into the next thing. So when you say making a plan, I want you to talk about making a plan, what that looks like. You could give an example, obviously. So, what do you, I know making a plan sounds so like what it is, but we could describe it a little bit better. And I would love to,
Yeah.
I would love to hear your take on like making a plan and an example.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you start with your goal, you want to start with what is your goal? That's your number one thought.
Mhm.
That should be your number one thing. And then right below that, it's your motivation for your goal. What does my goal actually mean?
What does it mean
Am I
to
doing
me?
this for myself?
Yeah.
Am I doing this for others? Am I doing this for my family?
Yeah.
Am I doing this for my significant other? Am I doing this for my job?
Yeah.
Am I doing like what is the motivation as to why you want to do this?
Yeah, the significance to it.
That's your motivator.
Love
That's the thing that you're going to stick to because that's the person that is going to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
Not actually.
Yeah.
Your significant others not going to be over your shoulder being like, this is what I want.
Yeah.
No, not that. It's just this is the reason why you're doing this.
Yeah.
And then your third important one is finding the different parts of your goal that make it what it is. So as you're exploring through it, it's just like with the vacation example. I want to travel to Japan. I need to know how much it costs. I need to know how to get there. I need to know where I'm staying. I need to know the dates that I'm going. Who am I going with? What special considerations do I have for that?
Yeah.
So those are all pieces that you have to break out.
Yeah.
And when you're kind of formulating this, don't spend as much time as you think you need to spend on it.
Okay.
Because if you do that, you're going to get into analysis paralysis.
Yeah, you're gonna get intimidated. That's when you're gonna want to give up.
You're going to be like, oh God,
This is too much.
Take forever.
Yeah.
You don't need to have everything planned out the second you need to start. Because you're going to find stuff as you go.
Yeah.
You don't need every single aspect of every single thing done. And trust me, with my job, I overanalyze. It's my job to overanalyze.
Yeah.
It's my job to overthink. It's my job to overprepare. It's my job to do a lot of things. And that's definitely internalized in my body.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
So it takes a lot. It takes a lot to do that. So you could have something very strict, like a vacation example, or you could have something very loosey goosey and intangible. I want to lose 25 pounds, and I'm doing this for myself because I want to feel better when I put on pants.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Excellent. Here's the real fun part of it. What else motivates you besides losing the weight? Do you want to be stronger? Do you want to be more flexible? Do you want to be able to go up 4 flights of stairs? Do you want to run a 5K? So if you have something as I don't want to use the word intangible, but you have something as limitless or defined
Mm-hmm.
as I want to lose 25 pounds, try to tie it to something that would be a good active um activity or goal to go along with it. Because if you just say, I want to lose 25 pounds, and the first time you start working out and you gain 4 because you're retaining all that water weight and you
Yeah.
don't know that,
Yeah.
you're going to be like, fuck this. I'm not
Yeah.
going to do that. And then you're
Yeah.
just
I
going to give
give
up.
up. Yeah.
But if you have, I want to run my 5K and I have 6 months to plan, I want to stay with this. With this regimen, I want to use this YouTube video that's a couch to 5K, and I have to stick with that program. And that's your goal. That's a little bit easier to hold on to than just I want to lose weight.
Yeah. True.
So
Maybe making it quote unquote smaller, you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
I want to lose. So if 25 pounds seems a little crazy in the time that you're doing it, I want to lose 10 pounds, but I still want to run a 5K.
Yeah.
Guaranteed, if you're training for a 5K, you're probably going to lose those 10 pounds.
Absolutely. I've trained for a 5K and yeah, it's going to happen. But you know, at the same time, it is important to realize that you are most likely going to gain weight before you lose it. It's just
100%.
how our bodies work. It's how the human, you know, it's just how it is.
Adjusting to any routine, your body's going to revolt before it likes it.
Absolutely. And you also have to remember, like, muscle, you know, it has its weight too. So just because like you might weigh more, it doesn't mean that you know, you gained weight or anything. It's just you have more muscle. So
so now sorry.
No, go ahead. No, go for it.
So now that you have your scopes, now you need your time boxes.
Okay.
So now your time boxes, I suggest, and you can make whatever time boxes you want. I suggest quarterly, monthly, and daily. So for instance, I don't like weekly because it leaves too much wiggle room.
Yeah.
I think if you say I'm gonna work out 4 days a week, you're gonna try to cram all those on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
And then if it's Saturday and Sunday, you're probably not gonna make the gym and you're probably not gonna stick to your goal.
Yeah.
So my thing is I try to do something each day. I try to do something each day for my goal. And it can be whatever you want to do. I usually pick 1 to 3 things that I can do within a day to help my goal. I need to know how much time it's going to take or how much time I need to dedicate to it. I need to schedule it so it's on my calendar.
Yeah.
Because that way it's on your calendar and you don't schedule over it.
Yeah.
Unless it's a wedding or a funeral or something, obviously, you know, life critical.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you want to schedule something so you stick to it. And you want to schedule something to say, I can't do it that time. I have to do something this time.
Yeah.
So, and then you stick to it and you see what results you have. So after each month is your recap. Each month is to say, this is how much I stuck to it every day.
Yeah.
How did it feel? How did I do?
Yeah.
Did I see any improvements?
Yeah.
What worked for me? What didn't work for me? What do I need to change?
Reevaluate.
And that's kind of exactly. That's your time to evaluate. That's your time to say, this is working for me. This isn't working for me. Pitch it, add to it. Maybe you say, I'm way ahead of where I need to be. I think I'm going to add a couple more things. This sounds great.
Yeah.
So then you do that. Also, what is your treat?
Oh, yeah.
What is your treat?
That's true. Some people don't believe in treats or treating yourself.
I 100% believe in treats.
Me too. Absolutely.
You have to reward yourself. You can't reward yourself every week. You can't depends on what it is. But you can reward yourself. You absolutely can reward yourself every month. If you want to go absolutely bangers to the wall and say, I'm going to get ramen with the fixings, get some sushi on top of that, and I'm going to have some iced teas with sugar, do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
100%
Why not?
do it.
Why not?
Yes.
I mean, honestly, and if we're being truly honest and kind of dark, I mean, you only live once, and I mean, you know, when you treat yourself, it almost makes it a little, honestly, it makes it a little bit easier. Like, I can do this. I really can, you know, because I'm allowing myself and I'm giving myself the opportunity to have something that I enjoy. You know, like Sunday for me, like, you know, I'll get a frozen yogurt, you know, if, you know, if I feel like I can handle it, or ramen's a good example too, you know, like, or like a big, what's it called? Poke bowl, you know, something like that. You know, I feel like when you allow yourself to have those little treats or those moments, it does. You're like, I could do this. I could totally do this because, I get to do this once a week or like once a month.
Yep.
So
And it
I
also
love that.
doesn't always have to be food.
Yeah, that's true. I feel
No,
like I always want to treat
this
myself
is definitely
with
not
food.
to correct it. Mine is always food. This
Yeah,
is not judgmental. Mine
same.
is 100% always food.
Same.
But another thing you can do is you can buy yourself clothing. You can
Okay,
buy
I do
yourself
that
a video
too.
game.
Yeah.
You can buy yourself some shoes. You can buy yourself a new book.
Yeah.
You can treat yourself to going, on a Chicago architecture tour.
Yeah.
I'm from Chicago. Hi.
Yeah.
You can treat yourself to a new planner. Like
Yeah.
whatever
makes you happy.
Yeah, whatever is your thing of saying, hell yeah, I did a great job. And
Yeah.
I'm going to say, yes, this is what I want to. Fragrances, clothes, massages, mimosas, fine leather goods. Thank you, Mr.
massage. Yeah.
Oh God, can I just say massages are the best thing on this planet?
Yeah, truly. Like honestly, now that
The
we're talking about
management with it is just like,
I feel like a
Love
new
it.
person.
Yes,
Brand new.
absolutely. And then quarterly is the bird's eye view as to how you're doing for your for your overall goal. I truly believe that it takes 30 days to sticking to something before you see anything that happens. And I truly believe it takes 90 days for a habit to be changed.
Okay.
So if you want something to really stick, if you want it to be part of your routine, if you want it to be ingrained in your every waking moment or sleeping moment, depending on what it is you want to change, that is something that is going to take time, and you need to allow yourself that time. So you need to allow yourself a full quarter, 90 days to say, I stuck with it. This is how far I am. I'm doing great.
Yeah, I think
I believe that.
And what do you think about the quote that says it takes 21 days to make a habit? Because I mean, I've heard that before. Like, what is your take on something like that?
I think it takes 21 days to establish it. I think it takes 21 days of repetition to make it feel a lot easier, to where it doesn't feel like a chore, where it actually feels like you're doing something that feels so natural and so ingrained in what you're doing already. But I truly believe it takes 90 days for it to actually stick.
Gotcha.
I think it feels 21 days for it to feel like you're doing it, but I feel like you need to continue, because there's a lot of people who would say who fall into that trap of, I did it for 21 days, I can sort of lay off.
Yeah, that's true.
I can sort of, take a little, I could take it a little less seriously and see how it happens. And they start slipping, and then certain things start happening, and they get upset with themselves and lose motivation.
Yeah.
So while nobody's perfect and nobody has to be perfect every day,
no, it's impossible.
It's impossible, and you shouldn't put that pressure on yourself.
Yeah, no.
I still fuck up. I still eat gluten.
Same.
I still sometimes eat dairy. I have a very upset stomach every time I do it.
Yeah.
I eat out more than my budget allows every week. That happens all the time.
All the time.
Mean you're a bad person.
It just or a failure.
It just means you're gonna try again next time.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
You're still trying. You're still doing. And you're still attempting to do what you set out to do.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're doing that is successful.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like what I tell my community is, if you are trying your best every single day, that is good enough.
Absolutely.
If you are putting in as much effort as you can, as much as your body physically allows you to do it, mentally and emotionally allows you to do it, you're doing freaking awesome. So don't worry if your best doesn't feel like the best, because it is. The fact that you want to put in that effort to be the best that you can be already shows that you're doing something absolutely fantastic, And so I always tell everybody, I'm doing the best that I can, and if that's not enough for you, it's enough for me, and I think that that's most important. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I always tell my community that.
And if you take the time to make a plan, and if you take a time to line all this out and schedule it and personalize these check-ins and do everything, this is self-care.
Yeah.
This is self-love.
Yeah.
This is you giving a shit about yourself.
Yeah.
And this is something that you can do to make yourself feel better.
Yeah.
It's not a Band-Aid for every day.
Yeah.
But it's going to be something that says, yes, I woke up this morning. I did my freaking best.
Yeah.
I did 3 of my goals today.
Yeah.
I killed it. I'm going to go to bed happy.
Yeah.
And a lot of us sometimes have hormonal imbalances that make that really, really, really hard and really intangible most of
Yeah.
our days.
Yeah.
So if there's even just a little something that we can do,
Yeah.
it would help. And also, spoiler alert, you don't have to have a goal.
Yeah.
You don't have to do this.
Yeah.
If this is purely something, if you want to do it,
Yeah.
if you want something and you want that change, this is one of the best ways that I've experienced that I've had success in doing so.
Yeah.
And that's why I always, always, always tell people, write it down, mark your progress, make a plan, think about what exactly you want out of this. Because
Yeah.
if you understand your motivations and you understand why, and then you have something that backs it up, you're going to stick with it and you're going to
Yeah.
do great.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that kind of leads into my next question
Mhm.
is, like what makes actualizing goals and making a plan, like what makes it so important? And you started leaning into it.
Yeah,
This is a form of self-care. This
this
is a
is.
way to take care of yourself.
This is.
And so, what else makes this so important to you or to people that you've told maybe in the past and it's worked for them? Like what made it so important?
Yeah. One thing is for anybody who has social anxiety, for anybody who has kind of a hard time talking to other people specifically about themselves, if they have anything that feels real weird, or they have a hard time believing in themselves, they have a hard time really psyching themselves up. I don't have a lot of trouble with that. I do have some troubles. Sometimes I'm overly humble. A lot of people point that out to me. But it's one of those, if you have trouble bringing yourself to the table, uh one reason why all of these details are important is because they give you the ammo that says I am taking care of myself because I am doing this.
Yeah.
I am working on making myself a happier person because I am doing this. It gives you something to talk about, and it gives you something that you can have a sense of pride in.
Yeah.
And a lot of
Absolutely.
times you can have a connection with
Yeah.
a lot of people who are having the same type of issues.
Mhm.
So a lot of times, I've made lifelong friends from just college,
Yeah.
of
Same.
just being, I have this goal,
Yeah.
what's yours? Oh, yours is pretty similar. Well, let's build each other up.
Yeah.
A lot of times it could be a really great networking and friendship
Yeah.
tool.
Yeah.
Another thing about the details, we sort of talked about it, is that it relieves a lot of pressure
Yeah.
because
Absolutely.
you have the forward thinking, because you have the plan, because you have everything scheduled. And the reason I'm repeating this is so you
Mhm.
understand, like,
The
how much this
importance of it. Yeah.
time investment is important for
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
because you're gonna have you're gonna have a lot of payoff if you put a lot of money down at the front.
Yep.
So this is your down payment on yourself.
Yeah. Oh my
This
God, I
is you
love that.
investing in it.
I love that.
Yes, this is you investing in yourself, and that again takes off a lot of pressure. And sometimes it's just like, you know what, we're gonna try it.
Yeah.
And even if you try, and even if you don't succeed or something doesn't work, you tried it, and it
Yeah.
doesn't work, and then you go back. I
Yeah.
took out meat. I took out meat for a really, really, really long time during one of my diet things,
Mhm.
and I was a cranky,
Oh.
cantankerous,
Yep.
ornery, nasty person.
It
And I
doesn't work for
said,
everybody. It
no,
really truly doesn't. Your body needs specific things. Pay attention to it. Write it
I
in your little plan.
yes, I need so much protein, and I can't have cheese. And
Okay.
Lord knows, back when I was doing this, there just were not enough really good supplements. There weren't enough vegan supplements.
No.
There weren't enough, like, anything that was good. I
Yeah.
mean, this was back when gluten free was a
Yeah.
literal hockey puck,
Yeah.
like, that you had from a freezer, because they couldn't put it on the shelf,
Yep.
because they couldn't figure out a way to bake it in order
Yep.
to make it available on the shelf.
Yep.
Like, it was just,
Yep.
it almost felt dehumanizing up
Yeah.
to a point of being like, God, I can't eat anything
I can't
normal.
do
What the
this.
hell? Yeah,
It almost felt like a failure within itself.
it did. So I told myself, hey, I'm not gonna pull back all of my meat all of the time,
Yeah.
but maybe if I just introduce, like, 2-3 days in, and I only stick with lean meats, like no pork,
Yeah.
no nothing. I just stick with like turkey and chicken.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a lot happier. And
Yeah.
my body was a lot happier with me.
Yeah.
And it just seemed to work a little bit. I'm still on a pretty uh semi-vegetarian diet.
Yeah. I'm pescatarian, so.
So there you go.
Yeah.
I was not. I should have been more into fish back then. I'm way into fish now.
Yeah.
But definitely back then
it's hard.
I didn't quite know what to do.
Yeah. No, exactly. You didn't have the resources that you do now. You said that,
Yeah.
So.
And I'm financially in a different
Yeah,
spot.
there you go. There you go.
That helps being able to pay for certain things on a more regular basis.
Yeah.
I sign up for food delivery services, which make my life a whole hell of a lot easier.
HelloFresh is amazing.
So, I have Hungry Root.
Okay.
I love
Interesting.
Hungry Root. Interesting. I need that little like part of it's cooked and then part of it's not.
Yeah.
And then so I have to cook a little bit and do the effort, but at the same time,
yeah. Absolutely.
I need the grab and go, make it 10 minutes at work, done.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And, some people would probably, look at that and, so the no meat thing didn't work out for you. They would probably and you kind of touched on this earlier, maybe go on a binge, and then,
yes,
it would throw everything off, but that's still
overcorrect.
that's still not a failure though,
Yep.
But some people probably look at that and they think, okay, that is,
Yep.
So, that's a really good point.
And you bring up a very good point of when you have the details and when you have the plan, when you do something different or deviates from it and you learn something new, that also goes into your arsenal.
Yeah.
So even if you make a mistake, even when you diverge from the plan, even if you do something that's not in the goal itself or in line with what you want, and you get a different result, whether it's good or bad,
Mm-hmm.
This is all qualitative data.
Yeah.
This is
it's information that you get.
Information that you have, and it makes you more powerful, and it makes you understand your body better.
Yeah.
And it makes you just have all of these really, really good experiences. Hi, Katie. Makes you have all these really great experiences that are just so flipping useful, but also they make you so powerful. Like it's okay to fuck up. It's okay to fuck up. Like you are doing great, and spoiler alert, you fuck up at your job. You fuck up in school. Like
every
you
day.
fuck up in relationships. Like you're gonna make a mistake. You screw up social interactions, and you regret it, and you think about it, and you mull over it.
You're in the shower. You're thinking of the situation. What would I have said differently? I'm just kidding, but seriously, people do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when you have that information, every single piece of that makes you understand your life and makes you understand your direction and makes you understand your purpose a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
So if you're 22 goddamn years old, it's okay to mess up.
Yeah.
You're good. You're good, sweetie.
Yeah.
You're great.
Absolutely. Oh my God. You don't even want to know how many times I messed up in my early 20s. Okay, chat?
Oh, so
like, seriously. Like, oh my God. I look back and I'm like, I hate myself. But if I wouldn't have made mistakes in my plans, or with my goals, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. There's absolutely no way. I am literally 180 the person I was in my early 20s, And so I think that's another good point with this is like failing is important. I have talked about this on Motivational. Failure is important. Do not be scared of failure when you're making your goals or making your plan. It doesn't mean that you are, contrary to popular belief on the Twitter verse, you're allowed to fuck up and make mistakes and do bad things. Like, like it makes you who you are in the end. And that's what's important. You want to be able to look back on your life and say, yeah, I messed up, but look who I am now.
Exactly.
Look who I am now. That's more important than the past, And so I love this so much because I feel like you and I work a lot in the same way. I literally write everything down. I literally have a plan for everything. I didn't make resolutions this year. I kind of already talked about that, but we work a lot that way. This, when it comes down to it, this is what is going to essentially shape you into the person that you are meant to be. I know it sounds like, like, losing weight or, a down payment on a house. But at the end of the day, when you really look at what we're talking about here, chat, it's that it is going to shape you into a person that you didn't even know existed. Yep. And I think that that is huge when you look at it from that perspective, is this is going to make me a human that I didn't even know was inside.
Yep.
And so I think that's beautiful, and I appreciate you talking about this with me, because sometimes I get down on myself when I mess up, or
100%
when I don't do something, and so to hear that doesn't mean anything, like it really resonates with me, and I like it, and I needed to hear it, and
yeah.
I hope it resonated with someone else as well in chat. So I really do appreciate that. So let's take this now. You can use me as an example, or just like yourself, or someone that you may have worked with in the past that it's worked for. So like,
yep.
How would you go about using these tools to like help yourself or help someone else?
Yeah. So so I've obviously talked about weight loss. For those of you who don't know, overall I've lost over 100 pounds since my heaviest. That's my big thing. That's my big thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I will also tell you that I have gained 8 of that back. And a lot of it has to do with how you shape things that you are perceiving as a failure. And I'm saying perceiving because there are a lot of things that we take onto ourselves that are not an actual failure. So my perception is, thank you. My perception is I'm a failure because I have gained 8 pounds back. I'm a failure because I have gained 8 pounds back. I'm a failure because I have gained 8 pounds back. I combat that with, crazy lady, you lost 100.
Yeah. 8 is nothing.
8 pounds is nothing. Second of all, you're working out.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Yeah.
On the daily. And you have been for 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah.
You're probably gaining some of that in muscle.
Yeah, exactly.
Thirdly, you adjusted your diet. You said, I am not going to have the same caloric deficit that I used to have, and I'm actually going to improve that. Yeah. And I'm actually going to adjust my caloric intake in order to be differently. Your body's getting adjusted to that.
Yeah.
It's a little bit longer.
Normal.
That's okay.
It's normal.
That's okay. Yeah. It's completely normal.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, again, when you have this data, when you try, when you are attempting to do something and something works out really well and something doesn't, I was not this confident at age 22.
Yeah.
At age almost 32, I am a very confident, self-assured woman. The reason I am that is because I have failed and I have succeeded probably in an even amount each way. And I have failed at things that may not be that important, but I have succeeded at certain things that are absolutely pivotal in shaping the human that I am.
Yeah.
So if you don't try, and if you don't even think that you are worth the investment, that's going to be a hard hill for you to climb.
Yeah.
But if you try, and if you think you are worth the investment, and you want to take the time to actually do this, you are going to pay in dividends, not only because you are investing in yourself to be whatever human being you desire to be, but you are also investing in how your future self can cope with mistakes.
Yeah, it's true.
You are giving yourself an arsenal. You are giving yourself assurance. You are giving yourself the ability to say, hey, I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
If I gained 8 pounds when I was 22, I would be very upset.
Yeah.
And I would be inconsolable, and I would be stuffing my face with Pop-Tarts.
Yeah. Yeah. You're making me tear up.
Yeah. So these so this is what is really what actualizing your goals are.
Yeah.
It is not only believing in yourself, but it is giving yourself the power to know that you are going to be okay.
Yeah.
Because statistically, backed with data, backed with trying before, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
So
and you will be.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not only that, you can invest in tools to help you with this.
Yeah.
You don't have to start from scratch.
Yeah.
You don't have to do all of this by yourself. There are groups for this. There are YouTube videos for this. There are plenty of resources out there that could be led to this. I use Passion Planner. That's my thing that keeps me on track. I've
Yeah.
used journals. I've used journals for at least 2 decades
Me too.
where
Yeah.
I write everything down. I keep a record of everything. I still have my measurements from when I was my heaviest.
Mm-hmm.
I have them in an Excel sheet and I
Yeah.
have them in the red, and then I have my current ones in the green because that's where I am and that's what I'm thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
these are all just really these are all just really important things because and it's hard to really take that bird's eye view, and it's hard to take that, again, it's hard to see the forest through the trees. It's hard to really feel like you're doing something when you're in the thick of it. But
Yeah.
I can tell you, as somebody who's been in the thick of it for a very long time,
Mm-hmm.
and not even long, and my father's in the same boat and he's 52.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
32 and he's been
Yeah.
going through this shit for
Yeah.
who knows how long.
Yeah.
So the more you do this, the more you have the confidence to really try anything.
Yeah.
So,
What
and
have I always said, chat? Take the risk or lose the chance.
yes.
I always say that. I literally have a shirt that says it. It's my favorite shirt in the whole world. Take the risk or lose the chance. Take the risk on yourself, or you'll lose the chance to see who you could possibly be in a year and
Yes.
in a week from now.
Yes.
Because I truly believe anyone can change in a day.
Yes.
So take the risk on yourself and do these things to potentially see what ends up happening. I think
Mhm.
it's sum it down to that. I mean, I love this. I truly do. And you started making me tear up because until now, really recently, honestly, because I made myself, I was like, you're not doing this anymore.
Right.
It was always, my worth was found in things that absolutely shouldn't have anything to do with my worth,
Right.
And I finally took a stand for myself, and I'm not a failure, and I'm not, I'm not failing at life. I'm not going to make myself miserable doing that anymore, and so it's just really important. If actualizing goals and making a plan sounds way too much for you right now, sum it down to, okay, you're making a change for yourself,
Yes.
like sum it down smaller and then work your
Yes.
way to making it a bigger thing, and
Absolutely.
I love this so much. And I kind of want to ask you, so like, what are ways that you stay motivated? Because I know that is sometimes really hard for people, and like you could literally be like, yeah, I stay motivated by actualizing my goals and making a plan, but like sometimes those details might not work. So I would love to know, like, how do you stay motivated, and what if this makes it easier for you, or if there's something else that also kind of goes into it.
Yeah. So I am a big proponent of therapy. I have gone to therapy for many, many years, and so some of the things that I'm talking about I have learned through therapy. And if this is something that you would like to pursue, I highly recommend seeing a professional.
Yes.
Because they really give you, especially the good ones. I know there's some shitty ones out there, but
yeah.
the good ones will give you some good tools in order to help process feelings.
Yeah.
So one of the big things to combat when staying motivated is your feelings of despair.
Yeah.
Your feelings that nothing's working.
Yeah.
And also your feelings when you do lose progress, or when you don't make the gym on time, or when you didn't put the $500 into your savings account because you need to spend it on something frivolous, or it really wasn't frivolous then, but it's frivolous to your brain now, and things and combating that. So a lot of that is spinning your negativity. It's changing the framework and how you approach that type of criticism. When you're bombarding yourself, I'm fat, I'm stupid, I'm ugly, I'm never going to get that promotion, I can't believe, or I can believe that so and so talked to me like that, because of course I'm literal trash. Everybody kind of gets that self narrative in their head, and a lot of times it takes a lot of mental energy and sometimes physical
Yeah.
to turn that into something that is better. So and so talked to me or didn't talk to me that night because I'm sure they had something going on. I'm sure I
Yeah.
wasn't at their top of mind, and it's not fair for me to put that pressure on them or myself,
Or to
and
assume.
or to assume or to expect that type of behavior. Calm down, brain. Calm down.
Yeah. I needed to
Uh,
hear that.
and
Getting called out. I'm getting called out tonight.
and then and it's the same with it's the same with it's my 8 pounds example. It's like, oh, you're such a fucking fat ass. I can't believe you did that. Well,
Yeah.
no, you're not.
Yeah,
You're
no.
really, really not.
Mhm.
You are doing everything. Look at your journal. Is everything checked off for that entire week? Did you do 15 minutes of meditation every day? Did you do your yoga every day? Did you do your workout every day? Did you not eat out the whole week? Girl, why are you so upset about yourself? You
Yeah.
did great. Who
Yeah.
cares what the scale says? You're doing great and your progress will show soon.
Yeah.
And at the end of the month, if it isn't, what can you change?
Yeah.
See how this all works together?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so if that's very hard for you, if that's something that you're having a lot of struggles with, if that negative self-talk is just overbearing and overpowerful, definitely see a professional.
Yeah.
Secondly, how you stay motivated, keep a record of everything. When I just said, girl, you went through your entire week and you did your check boxes, you did every single thing. You watched 3 movies, you treated yourself to 3 movies this week. Girl, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. You
Yeah.
you took care of yourself.
Yeah.
If you record even little things like that, if you record, I hung out in Twitch chats and I had a great time in Ashlina's. I had a great time in Heather Hart's. I had a great time in Spofies. I had a great time in Katie Peters Plays. I had a great time in She Snaps. If you just remember as you're going through your journal how you felt in that moment hanging out with those people, that can be a positive change.
Yeah.
Again, it can be literally anything that you feel is important in that moment that could be important for you in the future.
Yeah.
So this is and also and I think the biggest thing that a lot of people need to come to terms with is you're allowed breaks.
Yeah.
You are allowed breaks. If you're sick, do not
Yeah.
go to the gym. Are you fucking insane? No,
Don't
do not go
stream.
to the gym
Yeah.
or stream. Go to bed. Go
Mhm.
to bed. Nap. Treat yourself to watching The Witcher for a fourth time.
Mhm.
Literally do anything else other than whatever that stress ball in your head is thumping at you right now.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that. It's okay. You can
Mhm.
take a break. I think something very important to remember is you're allowed breaks. You're allowed off days, and you are allowed to not do anything.
Mhm.
If you honestly, if you schedule that,
Mhm.
it feels great.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
And
mean,
it
if I can speak from a chronic illness standpoint,
yes,
there are going to be days where your body's going to make that decision for you. And it's going to be like, no,
absolutely.
not today. You think you're going for a walk, but you're not, because guess what? Knee pain, back pain. You can't even get out of bed today. So I made the decision for you. And I am trying to work on forgiving myself, because it's not
Yes.
my fault. It's not my fault.
Yes.
My body made that
Not.
decision for me. And
Absolutely.
I'm going to do my best. And you know what? I say this all the time. I've said it to Katie Peters Plays. Your worth is not found in your productivity.
No.
Your worth is not found in how much you're doing.
Absolutely.
So, if I can speak from a chronic illness standpoint, like sometimes your body decides for you, and that's okay. Forgive yourself for that.
Yep. And I'm a workaholic. I'm coming off of burnout.
Right
Like
here. Yeah.
literally,
Right
I am
here.
coming off of burnout.
Yeah.
I put myself on a hiatus during the Christmas break, and I
Yeah.
said, I am not streaming. I am not visiting people. I am not going outside. I am literally sitting on my ass, and I am watching and playing video games.
Yeah.
And I'm obviously texting my boyfriend, texting my family, and keeping those connections. I wasn't completely a hermit. But I told myself I am not doing anything because my body is tired, my
Yeah.
brain is tired,
Yeah.
and I'm going to do nobody any good, specifically myself, being a burnt out, crispy piece of bacon.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that.
You could hurt
Nobody wants that.
somebody. You could
You're
hurt
I'm,
somebody. Like, to be
exactly.
perfectly honest, you could hurt somebody with your
Exactly.
advice or how you're feeling. You could project that onto someone else and end up hurting someone.
And
It's the
even
truth.
even the one stream that I had, I think right before the break, I knew the second I hit that go live button, I started hitting technical issues, that I was just gonna be a salty, unsavory, unwanted little bitch. And I was sitting there just knowing like nobody's gonna want to watch me. I am
Yeah.
so angry right now.
Yeah.
And I just kept trying to push through because my brain kept saying, no, you gotta do this, you gotta do
Yeah.
this, you gotta do this.
Yeah.
And finally, everything, just went to crap. And then we turned it around because my community is amazing, specifically I'm Still Johnny, said, let's do a movie instead.
Yeah. Love it.
Completely did a 180.
Yeah.
Completely did a 180.
Yeah, and you couldn't see it though because you
No.
were in that moment of
I was too in the moment. I was too pissed. I was too aggravated with myself. I was too down on myself. I was too angry. And that was just one of those things where you just gotta, and it's okay if you didn't do it in the moment.
Yeah.
But I recognize it now.
Yeah.
So this is also just I do Sinister. This is me. Literally,
now you see why I love her.
I literally have people text me being like, I hear your voice when I'm yelling at myself to get out of bed. And I'm like, you're fucking welcome. So I'll make wrestling references.
Yeah, I love it.
It'll just happen.
I love it.
Hi, Ninja. So it's definitely one of those that it helps you stay motivated. But another thing, and I think Peachy Moon brought it up, another good thing is make adjustments.
Yeah.
If you're not feeling successful, and if you are 2 weeks in and you're not feeling anything, take a look at your goals. Take a look at what you're doing. If you're overexerting yourself, maybe if you say, I'm going to do 5 days at the gym and you're really going hard, but your body's kind of achy and you're kind of losing motivation, then you say, I'm going to do 3 days this week.
Yeah.
I'm going to do 3 days this week, and I'm going to see how it goes. Nobody is going to police you. Nobody is going to police you on you adjusting your goals or adjusting anything. If you need to adjust your daily plan in order to make up for a flare up from chronic pain, if you need to adjust because your body was really tired, if you went and ran your 5K, you're probably not going to go to the gym all 5 days next week. Maybe tone it down to like 2.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those, listen to your body. Again, be fluid and understanding, but also be rigid and try.
Yeah.
There's it's not a gray area. It's not rules. It's hold yourself in a light that remains positive.
Yeah.
Because if you're constantly putting yourself where you just have the police light shining on you and you feel like crap, that's not going to do you any good.
Yeah.
Feel free to adjust things. Feel free to change. You can even change your goal.
Yeah.
You can change your goal. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Literally no one cares.
Literally no one cares. No one cares if you change your goal.
Yeah.
Change your goal.
Yeah.
You're not a failure in doing that.
Yeah, but also like this isn't, I mean, unless you specifically state that it's for someone else. This isn't for anybody else but yourself.
No, this is for
you do it for you. You don't do it for anybody else. And like I think it's also like if, I like to be realistic yet optimistic, but like no one's going to hold your hand through this. Like you have to want it. There has to be some sort of desire, there. And I also, so what do you think about like maybe putting a goal down for a little bit and then like I'm going to do this later, like when I feel, better, or like when I feel like my mind's in the right place, what do you think about doing that?
I did a whole talk. So I 100% believe in my 90 days. I had a whole talk about talking about, I put on 3 goals usually in those 90 days. I usually do 30 days of one, 30 days of both, 30 days of 3.
Okay.
When I got to my second goal, I was just like, you know what? This isn't serving me a lot. I was in month 2 and I was just like, you know what? I'm kind of waning on my ability to do goal 1. I'm not sure if goal 2 is really working out for me. I don't think this isn't a habit that's really benefiting me at all. So, we'll take that out, and then when it got to month 3, I was like, I think I'll just do goal 1 and goal 3
Yeah.
and see how we do.
Yeah.
And I was more successful in doing that than I was
Beautiful.
probably doing all 3.
Yeah.
So 100% readjust, and readjust can be abandonment.
Yeah.
If something just isn't working for you, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Find something else.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
Find something else.
I love it. Like,
but give yourself enough sorry. I just hit my desk.
No,
give
you're
yourself
fine.
enough quantitative time.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. We're dropping frames for a second.
Oh, sure.
We're dropping frames. Hold on. We're back. Okay. So like one of my things that I noticed about myself, particularly like I guess towards the end of last year, was my constant negativity. And so I told my chat that one of my goals was to sit down, every morning and write down at least 5 things that I was grateful for, like right off the bat, like in the morning,
Perfect.
And even doing stuff like that, like for me, it has definitely changed my perspective. And I'm a huge advocate on like perspective and all that stuff like that. But, it really kind of brought things to my attention where it was like, you have so much around you that you're not even realizing because you're stuck in this mindset, Yep. So it could even be as simple as like, I want to change this about myself, like a mindset thing, so like that was a goal, and so just like every morning, I at least 5 things, like what am I grateful for, and let's focus on that. And you actually tweeted about this the other day that when you wake up in the morning, you don't reach for your phone immediately. And so
phones.
I've started to do that. I saw that you were doing it. And I was like, you know what? That's a really good thing because I'm ingesting things immediately as I wake up that really aren't going to serve me for the day. So let me not do that so I can do things that will serve me for the rest of the day. So you actually helped me do that. But, it's just stuff like that, chat, like I'm going to write down 5 things that I'm grateful for. It can end up changing your perspective and like how you look at the world and, how you look at your day-to-day activities and everything like that. So if you could tell someone who is having a hard time, maybe staying motivated or making goals, making a plan for themselves, like one thing, what would you tell them? Like, this is the part of like, make everyone cry. Yeah, but I'm just kidding. But, like, what would you tell someone?
I think we got close to that earlier.
Yeah, that was me. That was me. Like, what would you tell someone who is having a hard time making goals, making a plan, or just in general?
Yep. Start small and give yourself a very tiny time box. Give yourself, if you want to give yourself the 21 days, give yourself 21 days and commit to something 15 minutes a day. That's it.
Okay.
You need to have something to prove to yourself that you can.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's all that you need.
Yeah.
So one of my absolute most favorite things to do is take meditation, for instance. There are tons of apps out there.
Yeah, there are.
Tons of apps out there. My personal favorite is Insight Timer.
Yeah.
Find something that's 15 minutes a day. Do it every morning. Just do it every morning for 21 days. This includes weekends.
Yeah.
You're not off on the weekends.
Yeah.
This includes weekends. And take 15 minutes out of your day to really invest in yourself. When that investment is done, I want you to say, it's been 21 days. How do I feel? Would I do this again? And if I did do it, what could I add to it? And if your answer is, I want to do meditation for 15 minutes still, I want to try to do it every day. Maybe I'll take off Sunday. Totally fine. You set the goals, you set the parameters yourself. I'm going to take off Sunday. I'm going to leave that day to not worry about anything. Sounds great. Go for it. But I'm also going to add that I walk my dog 2 blocks farther. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk my dog 2 blocks farther. If your dog doesn't want to walk 2 blocks farther, that's okay.
Yeah.
And if they end up being like, hey, you don't want to go that way because there's a scary dog in that fenced area. Okay. What are you going to do? You're going to readjust.
Yeah.
And you're going to say, okay, I'm going to take that goal away. I'm going to say, hey, I was putting too much pressure on something else, made the goal a little hard. Let's put it back on me. now I'm going to add 30 more days of walking just by myself. And you want to know what you can do while you do that? You're going to do my favorite thing to make things even better for you.
Meditate while walking.
You're going to bundle.
Yeah.
You're going to bundle. So now when you bundle, you're going to say, I'm going to listen to a really cool audiobook only when I'm walking. So that way I have to walk in order to know what happens next.
Yeah. Oh.
And then that turns into, wow, I walked for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I finished 3 books in 2 months.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to add more. And then you just keep going. And
yeah.
just keep going. And then you take back what you don't want to do. And then you just keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and sometimes if you make a goal for something like I want to lose 25 pounds, that's not a great goal. Instead, turn that goal into I want to be more flexible.
Yeah.
Turn that goal into an action,
not
a result.
Yeah.
Don't put a number on it. Turn it into something that feels a bit more tangible than just I want to lose 25 pounds. Okay, you're going to get bombarded with a million different ways on how to do that in an unhealthy manner, and you're going to fail.
Yeah.
So don't do it, because you're going to look for a way to do it quick, and you're going to look for a way to do it quicker than you need to.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be some pressure of an event that's going to come up, and you're going to be like, oh God, I have to get really skinny for that wedding. And it's not going to work.
Yeah. Too much pressure. It's
too much pressure.
Yeah.
So work on something. I want to be more flexible. I want to be more active in a day. So that leaves you the flexibility. I'm going to do racquetball one day. I'm going to go swimming the other day.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a class with Lauren the next day.
Yeah.
I'm going to I'm going to make sure I sign up for the rec center dodgeball tournament.
Yeah.
It can really be sometimes if you make something not with a number, and you make it not so much pressure on yourself, but you make it about how you feel, sometimes that could be a little easier for you to do. If you're somebody that needs a lot of pressure on yourself and needs some quantitative data and needs something to do stuff, that's unfortunately how I am.
Yeah.
I often have to put something tied to it in order to validate that I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
So don't feel the pressure that you have to do it.
Yeah.
Because the most important thing is you want to do something you can stick to.
Yeah.
So as long as you do something you can stick to, you're fucking succeeding.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, so like I said, this past weekend, I got a cold. And I mean, I really think it's like due to the weather, just like completely doing a 180 and like going from 65 to 30. But, I also worked out 3 times, and I haven't done that in so long. And I think I might have gone a little bit too hard.
Yep.
Would you say that maybe like tone down the goal, like make it not so difficult at first, I don't want to say like make it so easy that you could do it, but like don't go too hard on yourself either, because you could, potentially hurt yourself.
Try like it this way. Yeah, try it this way. If you are stupidly sore, or you get sick, or something happens after you go 3 days at the gym, go once next week.
Yeah.
Just next week. And then go twice the week after, and then work your way back up to 3 again.
Yeah.
So that gives yourself a little time. And maybe if that free time will let you do something else that you've been wanting to do off of your list. As adults, we have endless to-do lists.
And if you have a house, never
And
ends.
if you have a house, and if you have a number of things. So you're filling that time that you could be at the gym with something that's still productive.
Yeah.
You don't have to be productive. You can absolutely be rested. You can absolutely, rest is productive.
Yeah.
Regardless of what your brain's telling you, rest is productive. But you do have to allow yourself time, and you also do have to allow yourself the time to ease into things. So if you feel for instance, I've done about 4. So I did 4 weeks. The first 2, I've done 5 weeks of really keeping track of everything. Again, after my break, because I didn't do anything for about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And so it's been about 5 weeks. The first 2 weeks I didn't do any working out. I worked on maybe getting my steps.
Yeah.
And I worked on meditation every day.
Yeah.
Then I added, now I have a workout, yoga, workout or yoga. I could do both, but I have to at least do one and
Yeah.
my meditation.
Okay.
And then now it's going to turn into I'm doing yoga and I'm doing my meditation because I've gotten that yoga down. That yoga's
Yep.
feeling good.
Yep.
And then at least 2 times a week, I'm going to go lift weights.
Yeah.
And then the workout can come in whatever form. It can be walking on the treadmill. It can be maybe I do a high intensity interval training routine.
Yeah.
So, and those are time boxed. Those are all time boxed too.
Yeah.
You know, my weightlifting is going to be no longer than 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be productive longer than 45 minutes. I got shit to do.
Yeah.
Or you can do yoga. My yoga is usually not more than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
If it's a 40-minute one, I leave that for the weekend.
Yeah.
So, you know, and again, just you're just allowing yourself to explore. You're allowing yourself to say, I'm going to try that this week.
Yeah.
I'm going to try that this day. I'm going to try that this month. And you have to figure out if that works for you. And if it doesn't, that's okay. Find out something that does.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But don't give up on your goal. Don't give up 2 weeks in willy-nilly and be like, yeah, I'm not going to do this, because then you're not giving yourself enough data to maybe stick with it.
Yeah, that's true.
So, you know, you again, you got to be fluid, you got to be flexible, but you got to be rigid and you got to be disciplined. You just got to find that nice little balance to want something, but to also understand that it's okay if you can't some days.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say, so I didn't lie, but so one of my goals, one of my resolutions, I guess, is, I haven't really talked about this. I want to do like another motivational on it. Since I was very young, I've always had body image issues, and really bad.
We can have a whole talk about that.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm in the fashion industry too, so that already puts like a lot of pressure on me. But I told myself, and I've already talked to my agents about this and everything, you know, I am not going to go to the gym anymore because I hate myself. I want to go to the gym because I love myself. Yes. And so one of my goals this year is to work on, literally, I have the hardest time looking at myself in the mirror. I know it sounds so stupid, but whatever. I want to take that time to look at myself in the mirror and just love myself. Because for so long, since I was so young, I've just focused on picking myself apart. And so I'm just really, I'm putting it in my face, because sometimes I have to do that. I have to really put something in my face and make myself do it before it sticks. And, you know, it's getting better. And so I was able to do those 3 workouts last week with a different perspective of, I'm doing this because I want to be happy and I want to be healthy, not because I want to lose weight, not because my agent wants me to be this size. You know, I'm doing this because it's for me. You're not making
me so happy right now.
It's been, I mean, since I was 13 years old.
Hard.
It's really hard.
It's hard, especially when you just have those ingrained feelings in yourself and you're constantly fighting. You are preaching to the goddamn choir over here. It's just in you know, and body dysmorphia is not just women. Body dysmorphia is everyone.
No, it's everyone.
This is a universal problem that people have. You know, how many times are dudes shoved in their face
six-pack abs,
pecs, you know, just all that shit. So, you know, of course I would love a belly like Bailey, but you know, I'm not gonna get that. I'm not gonna get that. And first of all, I've come to understand that I'm not gonna get that because I have so many hormone issues. But I can be strong like Bailey.
Yes.
I can lift weights like Bailey.
You can be healthy.
I can toss a bitch in a belly to Bailey. I can do whatever the hell I want. Because that's something that I can work for. That's more tangible to me than a body image.
Yes, exactly.
To me is me saying, what's tangible to me is my boyfriend telling me how hot I look in a specific dress. That's tangible to me. And he's not just saying that to just be, you know,
boy stuff.
Exactly. He's saying that because he's saying, I know you are working out and I know that you are working hard, and I'm going to compliment you because I know not only do you need to hear it, but it's freaking true. So when people are saying that to you, they're not just, you know, they're not just fluffing you up. They're not just saying, you take that compliment and you run with it. That is in your journal. That is in your brain. That is in your file cabinet. That is something that you're going to pull out when you are lifting that, I'm back on the 75 pounder for squats. I'm back there. I haven't been on 75 pounds for a squat since I was like 17.
Yeah.
And it's shameful. It's shameful to me because I used to be able to weightlift so goddamn much. However, I was 100 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
I had a lot more muscle on me,
Yeah.
but I was also able to throw around a lot more weight in order to do that.
Yeah.
I broke a bitch's tibia.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
like,
yeah.
like that's not something I'm proud of.
Yeah.
I'm not proud of it because I tackled her really well. I did, but that's also because of how much weight was behind me and how little she was.
Yeah. Don't
So
mess with
that
Yeba,
doesn't
everyone.
that doesn't make me feel good.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to go back to that either.
Yeah.
But I want to be strong. What I want to go back to is I want to have the same confidence, and I want to have the same body positivity, and I want to have the same strength that I did. I don't have to deadlift 312 pounds again.
To feel that way.
But I do need to deadlift enough where I feel like I did that.
Yeah.
I did that, and this is where I am now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And, I want to do a whole discussion on body positivity and all that stuff. So we could save a little bit. But I will say Hashimoto's, getting diagnosed last year, it was, for me, the biggest blessing in disguise for me because it made me have to start thinking this way. I think if it wouldn't have happened to me, I would just continue that cycle of negative thinking and picking myself apart. But because I have this chronic illness, that's listen, your body is making a bunch of decisions for you now. Your mind doesn't get to make it. Your body's going to make it. So you have to accept it and you have to love it regardless. I think I needed that, And so, yeah, that's a whole different discussion for another, motivational, but.
Can I bring up Soberano 27?
Yeah.
They said, how do you know what you want is what you want? This is a fun one. So when you do if you don't know what you want, or if again your goal just seems either so out of reach or so vapid because you haven't made it about yourself, it seems shallow, it seems hollow, it just seems like what everybody else is doing. How many people do you know that say, I want to lose weight? A lot of people.
A decent amount, yeah.
Decent amount of people that say, I want to lose weight. If that's not your goal, that's not your goal.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have that as your goal to be successful.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to figure out what it is that you want, if you need help finding out what it is, find the things that are in your life right now that make you very happy, and find the things in your life right now that you feel could be better. Sometimes it could be your job.
Yeah.
So think of it that way. That's something we haven't even talked about. So if you're not happy in your job, what are the steps that you can do to be happier? Mm-hmm. Is it changing a mindset, or is it changing your job?
Yeah.
If you're going to change your mindset and you find out, I still don't really like it here. I feel like the atmosphere just really isn't what I want. I'm having a hard time struggling for this. Maybe I should try a different place. Mm-hmm. Then that becomes your goal. And then if you're during your research and during your networking and during the time that you're trying to find out where my next move is going to be, you find out a really cool position and you're just slightly unqualified for it, and you just need a certification in order to do it. If you need your CDL in order to do it, your commercial driver's license.
Yeah.
That can be your goal. What is my goal to pay for, to pass, and to get my CDL? Done.
Yeah.
Those that's your goal.
Yeah.
So this does take a lot of introspection. This does take some time.
Yeah.
But it also turns into, what am I doing and what do I want to change that actually benefits me?
Yeah. Yeah.
And social media has a big part in this, in creating this fallacy. How many people do we know want to be Twitch partners? How many people do we know?
That's not on my list anymore.
That's not on my
I
list anymore either.
I gave that.
You want to know what's more important to me? Raising a shit ton of money for charity.
Exactly. High freaking five right
Yeah.
now.
That's my goal. So my goal isn't Twitch partnership. I'm not stressing myself out about making those numbers. I'm not stressing myself out about those subs. I'm not stressing myself out about engagement or anything. I'm here to have fun. I'm here to raise money for charity. I'm here to raise a shit ton of money for charity, and I'm here to have a great time doing it.
And make a
And
difference.
Exactly. So my difference isn't me having a check mark. My difference is my community reaching out through me to spreading that much kindness.
Yeah.
And that's what I want.
Yeah.
And it took some time. It took some time to really reorient myself.
Yeah.
There was a time where I was fairly close.
Yeah.
There was a time where I could have done stuff, but I couldn't keep up 3 streams a week.
Yeah.
Because I got too burnt out and I got too tired and I got too frustrated.
Yeah. It's not worth it. You can't stream if you're dead.
No.
You can't. You can't stream if you're sick. You can't stream if you're just not there. You just
and I have
you can't do
job.
it. Yeah.
I have a full-time
Add
job
that. Yeah.
That demands at least 55 hours of my thinking time.
Yeah.
It demands 40 hours of my working time, but it demands 55 hours of my thinking time.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a lot. That's a lot of energy that you're putting into something, you know? And I just, you know, I told my chat this, you know, I almost quit streaming this summer. I was just like, really, I'm just like so over this because I was focused past summer. Sorry. You know, I was so focused on partnership or numbers or this and that. And it was just like, my mom sat me down and she was like, okay, why did you start streaming? And I was like, because, you know, I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to inspire people and reach a lot of people all at the same time. And she was like, all right, it seems to be that you forgot that. And that's why you're so stressed out. And I was like, thanks, Mom. I didn't need that today, but I'll take it, I guess. You know, she was like, you completely forgot the whole reason why you started streaming. And I was like, you're so right. And so, you know, it's just a change of perspective and everything like that. So, no, that's not even on my list anymore either. It's just like, whatever. But
take it off.
Yeah.
Throw it away.
Yeah, but thank you so much. Before we like answer chat's questions and kind of go off everything, I would love for you to let them know about you again, like where to find you and all of your social information.
Absolutely. So like the name says below, my name is Yebadeba. I am a Twitch I'm a Twitch streamer, but I also primarily focus on charity. I am known as the hype queen of Twitch. I will motivate the fuck out of you if you give me the chance. I like wrestling. We do a whole bunch of ridiculous content, indie games, scary games.
Okay.
Anything to get a laugh, anything to have a good time.
So variety.
So yes.
Okay.
So you can find me Yabadeba here on Twitch, name spelled same below, and then also the same name on Twitter. I do have an Instagram, but I haven't. Oh God,
that's a whole other animal. It's okay. It's a whole other animal.
And I have so many pictures of my dog on there. It's so hard to go back.
I love it.
One of those like.
I love it. I love it. Also, real quick, Touch. You have a get shit done chat or talk?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Talk about that for a sec.
Yeah. So I have two. I have 2 streams in the VODs right now. I do Get Shit Done talks. It's a methodology and a motivational structure that I have here where we talk about things people don't like to talk about. So one of them I talked about saving money and understanding and having some level of financial education and understanding.
Yeah.
Money is just so fucking taboo and it makes me upset.
Yeah.
I love talking about money.
Yeah.
I love especially talking about how to make you more money, which is why I also talked about how to ask for a raise.
Ooh.
So
okay.
a lot of our talks also talk about removing the shame and removing the guilt
I love that
goes around doing a lot of these things. I am a scrum master. Thank you, Henson. I am a scrum master. I do I have a couple things in the work for my blog, but I have written down quite a few of the things that we have talked about.
Drop your blog in chat too, so whenever you get a chance.
And I'm just at yabadeba.com
okay.
as well. So
there you go.
Same name, same thing. I'll have a whole thing with this and link all of Ash's stuff as well. So.
Okay, perfect.
But yeah, I'm happy to talk about anything with your professional life. I'm happy to talk about personal goals. I'm happy to crowdfund what people would like to hear. So if you have anything that you want to add into it, I'm happy to talk about it. I talk about, oh God, I talk about everything. I go into money markets.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
I love financial freedom,
Yeah.
and also removing that shame from not making as much as billionaires. It's
Yeah.
fucking so
Yeah, no.
goddamn.
I absolutely agree with that. Well, thank you so much. I am going to just end the recording and then we will get talking to chat, but